The major problem confronting government-recognized IDP camps in the northeast is welfare. Displaced persons are finding it difficult to regain their pre-conflict way of life and living because of the poor living condition and poor sanitation which they are subjected to. What can be done to address this challenge? My guest on this week's episode of the program talks about the welfare of internally displaced persons in the northeast. Hello there. Thank you for joining me on the program this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. As at last month, the United Nations said more than 500,000 people in the northeast need urgent food aid, and almost 250,000 children under the age of 5 in Borno State will suffer from malnutrition this year. Well, these are worrying statistics, especially for the National Emergency Management Agency. I had a conversation with the Director General of the agency on what has been done about the welfare of these displaced persons. But up ahead. Following the flag-off of the emergency food intervention in the northeast, the National Emergency Management Agency has reached over 18,000 households with food and relief materials. The distribution is done in IDP camps in Borno, Adamawa and Yobe states. Take a listen. Trucks carrying assorted food items arriving Maiduguri as the federal government begins the new distribution plan for delivering relief materials to internally displaced persons in the northeast. This is a departure from the old practice of asking the displaced persons to queue up for food. 30,000 metric tons of assorted grains, including sorghum, maize, soybeans and rice, were stored in a specially guarded warehouse for the internally displaced persons. While flagging off the intervention, Acting President Yemi Osinbajo said it was part of the federal government's emergency initiative to address the feeding problems of the IDPs.
These grains have traveled from various locations across the country, from as far afield as Ibadan and as close as Gombe, escorted and protected by the Nigeria Police Force, the Nigeria military, and in some cases will be airlifted by the Nigeria Air Force. The food will be distributed by officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in partnership with State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, and our friends from the international humanitarian agencies.
Each of the IDPs is expected to have a voucher card to get their ration of food. The same card will serve as database for future resettlement process. Speaking at the occasion, Governor Kashim Shettima of Borno State is grateful for the intervention and promised to work closely with the federal government and other international donors in the process of reconstruction, rehabilitation and resettlement of IDPs and their destroyed communities.
We are grateful to your dedicated self for the empathy and passion you have shown to us in the Northeast. Today marks your first visit to Borno, and like I always say, each of your visit comes with sharing news for us. As we are coming to the event, to the venue of this particular function, I showed you the piece of land where you are helping us to construct an orphanage.
The government is hoping to carry out this exercise on a quarterly basis to alleviate all kinds of food-related problems being faced by the IDPs in the northeast.